Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and today's movie review. Today we're going to be reviewing excuse me, Jesus of Nazareth. It's a 1977, call it a made-for-TV series. It's not really a movie and it's not really a TV show in that respect. It's kind of in between. So it's 6.5 hours long total. And, well, what they claim it is the story of the life of Jesus Christ. But that's not true. At best, this would be a subversion of a story found within the Bible. As with most things from Hollywood, they take a lot of liberties with any story that they pull their media from or their films from. And they take a lot of liberties with it. If I was to categorize this story, I would categorize it as a fantasy drama. And I do like a good fantasy drama. And I did like this particular series. But I would in no way say that there is anything biblical about it. It's one of the more difficult ones to talk about because of that. It's a good show. It's very entertaining. It was well directed, well written. The actors do an excellent job of playing their roles. But that's what it is. It is a play in that respect. It is not a reenactment of events found within the Bible in that respect. It is a play that pulls its material from the Bible. Now, with that stated, I'll go ahead and continue why I like this story. I like this story because it does have morals and values within it. It also explores how those should be applied to the world around you. And in that respect, this story does a great job. It also does a great job of subverting specific morals and judgments, leaving them ambiguous. And I believe that that too is done deliberately. It's not a good thing, and for an adult, they should be able to pick that out when they're doing it. But other than that, I mean, it is what it is. It is a good story. It's a great drama. It uses a fantasy setting, as far as I'm concerned, to make its point and pull its material from. This story, this fantasy that they created here, is about a guy who's born into a world that has a lot of problems. He's been given certain abilities which don't fix the problems in that respect. At best, they're a short term answer to some of the problems around him. And as a result, people started to revere him as something greater than. Which in truth, that shouldn't sound too surprising to anyone that such a thing would happen. And because of the government for which he's forced to live under, decided that it's, lawful to essentially tax slaves, it kind of got under his skin, and he voiced his opinion about such things in a world where freedom of speech is frowned upon, to say the least. And as a result, he was nailed to a cross for it. And then his dead body disappeared. I mean, that's kind of the story. Um, but like I said, there's a lot of good morals in here. Um, and it even shows how morals can be twisted and used against others for the purpose of evil, basically. And it also shows that there are such thing as evil morals, and there absolutely are. Um, and what do I mean by evil morals? Well, well, snitches get stitches is a good idea of an evil moral. It serves no one except for the criminal. You solve nothing with such a moral, but you perpetuate the crime around you. That's an evil moral. Now, I've heard all the justifications for it, and in truth, none of it makes sense. It's just one of those morals that are taught sometimes, and it truly shouldn't be. Um, it never works out for the betterment of the community to have such morals. Um, but modesty is another moral that has been, can be. Let me rephrase that. Modesty is a moral that has been taken to both extremes. And what I mean by that is we've seen what happens when there is zero modesty, and we've seen what happens when there is too much enforced. Prime example of that would be how women are forced to wear burqas and cover their face in Islamic religion. I believe that's modesty taken too far. But I also believe that women shouldn't be allowed to walk around in string bikinis because that's modesty in too little amount. So that's one of those morals that can be twisted in both directions. It could be twisted too far and it's evil, and it could be twisted to be too little and it's evil. There is a middle ground, but nobody seems to want to admit that that exists, at least not in current society, and that's not a good thing. Um, and this show, not on that particular moral, by the way, but this show tries to gloss over a lot of the more, let's call them twisted morals that we have in the world today. And it just kind of, like I said, it glosses over them. Gives a very simplistic view on it, and it's never that simple. Morality truly is never simple. Um, so, what's my review of Jesus of Nazareth? It's a good show. It's well done, well written, well acted. It surprises me that this was made for TV. But we've had a few made for TV series in that respect over the years. When I say few, I think it's like 4 or 5. So not a lot. But we've had a few that were really, really good over the years. And I've watched those. Um, and this is one of them. This is one of the more interesting, uh, like I said, uh, fantasy dramas that I've ever watched. So that's my review for the day. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of yours.